work together is about synergy. Man, it's about synergy and sovereignty. What it's really about, which really messes up my mind, Sister Nicole, is it's about God taking stuff that don't look like it's supposed to work together. And then I grew up in the city. Hardcore ghetto city. People were extorting money when I was 5. And I'm pastoring in the country. And we got it going on together. Because God's able to take that which look like it ain't supposed to work together and then make it work together for your good. Are y'all seeing what I'm trying to tell y'all here? But it doesn't work because we can make it, we can all get along. No, we ain't. Some of y'all don't like each other, not really. No, I talk to all y'all. Don't tell me how to. But the reality is that the sovereignty of God can make two folk that don't want to sit next to each other, sing off the same songbook, get on key, and praise God. So then, Elder Hill, we can be confident, man, with our expectation. When I'm in the purposes of God, I said, man, my future is bright because all things are going to work together. Are y'all with me here? That means that nothing can touch my life that lies outside of the scope of God's providential care. It suggests that anything that is less powerful than God can't not make my life miserable. Because the power of God will take that which seems to be against me and make it work for me, because God is sovereign. The thing that won't hear my voice has got to get in line with the voice of God, because God's got all power. God's got the power to say to stop. Satan, you can touch his life, his body, but you can't take his life. God's got the power to say you can make him suffer, but you can't kill him. Because the bottom line is, when you through with him, it's got to work for his good. Oh God, when you walk into God's purposes for your life, the difficulties that you go through in life will work for you. God's not trying to say you won't have difficult moments. He's saying to you that they won't destroy you. He's saying to you, as you go through the valley of the shadow of death, you got to know that you're going through, because ultimately it's got to work out for your good. If you're walking with God and walking in his purposes. I need to leave y'all here by simply telling you, here's what I saw this morning. The Lord said to me, when you understand that if you're in his purpose, and if you're in his divine will, and if all things are working for your good, that's when you can testify, I can do. When you're in his divine will and in his divine purpose, and you know in your knower, you know cognitively in your mind and spiritually in your spirit, that all things working for your good, because you are called according to his purpose. You can stand up on the corner at noonday and say, I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me, because the same Christ that strengthens you is the one that makes all things work together for your good. Here's the question. Here is the question. For some of y'all who frustrated, do you really want all things to work together for your good? If you do, then you need to start getting yourself into the purpose that God has for your life. Which means you must turn your back on all the purposes you have designed for yourself. And then begin to embrace the purpose that God birthed you into the earth for. Because the only way that all things are going to work for your good is that you're in the purpose that God's called you to be in. And your frustration comes from wanting all things to work together and yet wanting the purpose you have chosen for your own life. You can't have them both. You can have your purpose or you can have the all things working, but you cannot have them both. They're like oil and water. They don't mesh together. God doesn't make all things work for your good according to the purpose you've chosen for yourself. One thing you can do to help your child, you don't put something on him that God didn't put on him. Don't look over in the bassinet and say, he gonna be a lawyer and she gonna be a doctor. Because you can frustrate all things working for their good as you speak purpose into their life that God ain't speaking. Children are the heritage of the Lord, which means that they're his and he can do with them what he wants. Yes, I said it right. You feed them, but they're his.